Hi, everybody. I'm Hillary Atkin. I'm here with Tichina Arnold, one of the hardest working actors in Hollywood and one of my personal favorites. Tashina, how are you holding up during this coronavirus?
Hey, Hill. First of all, what's up, lady? Sending lots of love and positive energy your way. Um,
Thank
yes,
you.
this coronavirus I was ready for it. I didn't know how, us being quarantined, how it was coming or what was going to happen. But I knew 2 years ago, I said, I have to be prepared to be prepared. And I didn't know for what. I didn't know why, but I'm a Cancer, as you know, and I like storing up and, I'm kind of a hoarder. So I love making sure that I have things, but I've kind of been prepared for this quarantine thing for 2 years now. It's crazy.
Wow, that's so impressive. I really wish you would have told me.
Well, no, it's not, but it's something that, because I know what type of person I am. And I know that I like to have my things. I love being home. I love like if I could stay home literally for days, not leave my house and just be the happiest person ever. I love, as sociable as I am, Hillary, I'm that much more of an introvert as well.
Well, that's good to know, but I have to tell you that you are seemingly everywhere because you must have been working so hard right before the coronavirus hit. Because not only do you have your CBS show, The Neighborhood, in its second season, you just had the Netflix premiere of The Main Event and the feature film on VOD, Clover, with an amazing cast that includes Ron Perlman, Jessica Zor, and Erica Christensen. And let's not forget your so cool indie film from last year, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. And I just happen to have right here some really cool swag from the
Oh, nice!
film.
You got this one. Listen,
Look
Hillary,
at
I can
this.
always count on you for the swag. That's dope.
Look,
Oh,
they
man.
sent a whole cool map. I can't really unfold it right here, but look at this.
That's dope.
This was so amazing. I love this. And
Nice, nice.
congrats to you on that film
Thank,
and doing that with
thank
Plan
you.
B.
Thank
So,
you. I was very happy to be a part of that. I think Joel Talbot and Jimmy Fails, that was their real life. That movie came from a special place in their hearts. I mean, they grew up together. That movie came from a real place. That's why I always call that movie, it's just one big poem. It's just so poetic and just I'm sure for people that have been born and raised in San Francisco and the Bay Area and Oakland, that, I know this movie meant a lot to them. Being there for the premiere for it and just meeting the people that the movie was actually about was very, very nice. And just, it's a beautiful project that I pray that people continue to watch for a very long time.
absolutely. And people, you hit the key word here, watch. Like, let's shift over to TV for a minute. With everybody pretty much in the whole country doing safer at home, and of course us in California and most other states, we've had a lot of time to watch TV, and therefore the ratings for broadcast television are going way up, including for The Neighborhood, which was on last night. So let's,
we're blessed. We are definitely blessed, Hillary. Definitely.
well, tell our viewers about what the production's been like for you and, what it's like to have Cedric as your on-screen husband.
Well, I love Cedric, the entertainer. Cedric and I have known each other since the the low 2000s, like not in the 90s, but like right after the 90s, I met Cedric, and we have the same friends, and I finally got a chance to work with him. I finally got a chance to actually be on a major network. People thought I was on a major network all these years that I've been doing television, but no, Fox was an independent network when I did Martin. So when I got a chance to be on CBS, I'm like, yeah, this is great. CBS and Cedric the Entertainer, I can't lose. I just love the combination. And I love the fact that Jim Reynolds, who this show is loosely based upon, Really great guy, great family guy, just very passionate about his writing. This is loosely based upon his life and his occurrences of moving into a Black neighborhood. And, you know, Jim is all the way white, like he's white. If you look up the word white man, that'd be Jim. in a good way, not in a bad way, in a good way. But Jim is a sweetheart, and I'm happy to be able to be a part of his life's journey as well, you know, with him telling his story.
Yeah, well, you guys you've completely shot season 2 then. It's all in the
Yes.
can, correct?
Now, Hillary, let me tell you how God works, Hillary.
Please
We were
do.
on our last episode. Literally, we had 2 more days of work. We had tape day, pre-tape, and tape day. And that's when they told us, yeah, y'all got to go home. It's the virus. It's just the outbreak is, yeah, everybody's got to be safe. So we weren't able to do the last episode. But guess what? Everybody gets 22 full episodes to watch of The Neighborhood while we're on quarantine. So I think that's a wonderful thing. I think it's a good time for people to laugh and just be entertained with just good old fashioned, good old honest, funny entertainment.
Yeah, well, you know, I agree with you. I think this is the time, and everyone has their own taste, but there's nothing better than uplifting, and for me, and probably for you, comedic entertainment. You know, I know that certain shows I've loved in the past, I cannot watch now because they're too deep and dark. And I think I'm not going to name any names, but they all fall under the drama category. And, you know, a lot of, I just can't.
The drama works for you, and it worked for you when it was, you know, and it's okay. A lot of times it's okay to move on. You know, it's like you've been there, done that. Okay, we've done that already. We're moving on. It's okay.
Exactly. And this is the time to rewatch great comedies. That's been one of my things. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been watching a lot more TV than movies, although of course we can watch movies, but I'm finding TV more fun. And
good. We appreciate that. That's great.
Yeah.
I love TV.
Yeah. And like even binging half-an-hour comedies, like some of your old shows, let's talk about them. I mean, have you done this? Have you done this yourself? Or are you kind of like, I'm going to move on myself to other stuff from watching Everybody Hates Chris and Martin? Have you been dipping your toes in those waters again?
Actually, I have not been watching. I've been watching. I don't watch myself, Hillary. I can't stand if I'm in it, I don't watch it. Only because I don't like to censor myself. Being a comedic actress, I found that when I start watching myself, or you know, people, oh, you should watch it. I'll watch it, and then I'll start. Oh, I'm my worst critic, so I choose not to watch my work. But I love television. Television has fed me for a very long time, and I think television is a wonderful thing. And for you to catch up on your television is a great thing, because it still is a world of, we create these worlds in TV that we still tell information, we share information, and that's what The Neighborhood does as a show. It bridges a gap for two completely different cultures, and it bridges a gap so that we can have dialogue and conversation and be able to learn a lot about each other. So I've been kind of just organizing my house, watching the news every now and then. I'll tap into it, but I like watching ghost stories. I'm a ghost storyaholic. So I've been watching that and Adult Swim and the History Channel. I love the History Channel.
Really? Any certain genre on the History Channel that you like? Do you like World War II? What do you like on
aliens? I love anything having to do with the aliens.
Oh.
I love ghost stories. And my sister, we always laugh about this. My sister loves Law and Order. She's a Law and Order buff, and she's like, it's crazy how I like the stories of how people died and when they died, and you like the stories of after they died. I love ghost stories. I just love them.
Well, okay, so Clover is not exactly a ghost story. I would call it a crime caper, and it was really, really cool. So, but you know, talk about what that experience was like for you shooting with that cast.
Well, Johnny Abrams and we knew each other from New York way back in the day. And when I was asked to do this film, I'm like, oh, this is wonderful. Number one, I wanted to have the opportunity to be a part of a marriage, a new marriage. And that is WWE, back in the day, it used to be WWF, hooking up with Netflix and creating content that the whole family can watch. And I hadn't done anything like that in a long time since my daughter was born, doing a movie that she literally can watch with me and the whole family. Grandpa, everybody can watch the main event. So I love that about it. And then I love the fact that doing Clover, I was able to play a badass black girl,
Right.
Black woman in a movie with two crazy white guys, Irish guys. I thought that was fun. And, I always wanted to play a badass, so this gave me my opportunity to do so.
Well, can I say, because I do know you really pretty well, that you are a badass?
Yeah, but I'm always a badass when I'm trying not to be a badass.
You are. But, let's talk about the other side of you and how generous you are. And I want to hear about what's going on with the Lupus We Win Foundation, and, if the coronavirus has affected, people coming to you, or what is going on with that, and what can we do to help?
Well, people with autoimmune diseases, whether it be lupus, whether it be Sjögren's, whether it be whatever autoimmune disease, they are the most vulnerable as well, because their systems, their systems are already compromised. So their immune system's already compromised. So it's important that we make sure, my sister and I at the We Win Foundation, we really try to talk to people right now. There's a lot of counseling happening. We're losing a lot of people. A lot of people have not been able, their bodies haven't been able to, fight this virus off, which is just absolutely awful. So we are still here trying to do what we can and just be there for as many people as we can. Even if we can't hold them, or we could still pray for them. We could still, give them information and direct them in, towards the right path of just staying healthy. And, we got to make sure that we keep our minds healthy as well. That's where it starts, Keep your brain healthy. You gotta fight. You gotta, every day is a fight. So a lot of our loopies out there, they're already used to fighting, viruses and fighting this stuff every day. So we're just praying an extra covering on them, that they, can continue to live their lives as comfortably as possible while we're on quarantine. And it's very important that we follow through with this quarantine. We don't want to make other people sick. We don't want to compromise somebody else's health and life, their very life, if they're not able to help themselves. So, my grandma, I would love to see my grandma, but she's 90. So we can't see her. So we Zoom, we call her, we taught her how to do the video thing. So we do our family chats. But I think it's important that all of us right now, we focus on what we have and not what we don't have, or what we feel we don't have anymore. We're going into, like you just said, that the technology thing, you're not quite ready for it. I'm not ready for it either. But I think it's important for us to be ready for change, period. Just be ready for change, because sometimes change is not always for the bad. It may be for the better. So it's how we get through this. How will Hillary be when she gets through this? How will Hillary be when she's able to come out of her house and walk down the street without a mask on? Who will Hillary be? So,
well, one thing, I'm sorry to interrupt, sweetie, but
no,
a couple things
that's fine.
you said really touched me. I think this is the hardest thing with older relatives, older people that you're close with, and not being able to give them a hug. But what I have noticed, conversely, and this is one of the silver linings, is this has enabled, the vast majority of us, unless we're running a corporation and have many, hundreds of thousands of employees reporting to us, have more time than we used to. We just do. And one of the things I've done with my time is not only reconnected with people that I've lost touch with, but deepen the connections with people that are already in my world. And now we're talking on a regular basis. And I've had phone conversations that go on for 3 hours, and
Nice.
it's fun. And I mean, it's more than fun. It's the connection we can have right now. And so
Awesome.
I log, and I made a goal for myself to reach out to at least one person a day that I haven't heard from for a while, to check in with them. I think that is one of the most important things. Check in with people. Don't assume they're okay and that you know their life, and you don't. So
Mhm.
I just, as with you, a lot of my peeps are in New York, and I check in with them all the time. They're under siege right now. And, we're here in California. We went into the lockdown earlier, and I think it's paying off for us. But
Thank
I'm
God.
praying for everybody and
Mhm.
the leaders to do the right thing. But I want to get back to my point. Like, this is a time in my world, and I'm sure for you, I've made some new connections with people that I kind of didn't know very well that reached out to me. And I've deepened
Mhm.
connections with people that I already knew and loved, but perhaps months would go by without us speaking. And I bet you have some of the same situations.
Well, yeah, I think what you're doing, you're really making the best of it. And now is a wonderful time for us to reconnect. We have no other choice. And when you have no other choice, what do you do with that? With that? So, like, it's very humbling for this situation to be really out of our hands. And it could be far worse. But I think it's important that we do reconnect, and we do. This is also a time for, even in journalism, like yourself, like, we finally get a chance, you and I, to see each other and actually interview instead of, being at the opening of a restaurant. It's cool that you and I could be, on the airwaves as well. So I think it's important that we all just be ready for change and get something amazing out of this time off and out of this time in. But
Absolutely.
I'm good. Like, I have no complaints. I'm never gonna complain. I watch people like my sister, who has lupus and 6 other diseases, literally suffer in pain every day. There's just always something that she has to deal with her health. So I don't complain anymore. If I start complaining, I'm like, yeah, shut up, Tichina. I tell myself to shut up. So yeah.
I totally agree with you. I mean, I have a brother who owns a group of restaurants, and he had to lay off most of the people.
It's
And
hard.
he said, I had to lay off some good people. And it's, their business hours have been cut down. They can only do takeout and delivery. And
Mhm.
it's very, very difficult. And I don't know. Well, I hope his business will survive. And
Yeah.
I'm really, a thing that I'm concerned about, just veering off on another subject from entertainment, is
Mhm.
I don't want our world to just become big, huge corporations. We need the mom and pop stores on the corner. We need the
That's
little
balance.
restaurants. And so
Mhm.
when I do think about the future, that is the first thing I go to, is we have to find a way to help small companies, small entrepreneurs survive. And that goes for, creators as well. We have to,
Most definitely.
so
But
that
but
is,
guess what? We have that opportunity to do that right now. See, right now, I just sent a tweet a few days ago. It's like, right now, we all need to be using the God-given wisdom that we have. Let's use this time wisely. Now's the time that we're all on our devices. We're all interacting with each other via the internet. So now let's use the internet and say, look, this is what we want. This is what we need. This is the time for people to come together as one, and be of like minds, and join forces, so to speak, and get together and survive. So now's a great time for that. So a lot of us could be home doing that with our time as well. You think about all of those things that you need to vote for. You got to think about all of those things, those candidates. Now's a good time for you to sit there and look at all of these candidates and search, which candidate better serves you. You know what I mean? So we got time. Now, what are we doing with it is up to us.
okay, well, one thing you might be doing, I think a lot of women do, is going through our closets, right? And I know
Oh my
that,
God.
yeah, I know that you are normally very what I call fashiony, and your sense of fashion is very diverse. You know, you can be anything from
Yeah.
sleek and sophisticated to like a colorful peacock in a wild
Mhm.
outfit. So
Yeah. I
just
get
so you know,
bored.
and of course, we're both wearing, well, sweatpants right now, right? I mean,
You
but
lucky I got pants on.
well, it's too cold not to wear pants still. So wait till the weather warms up. But have you found, like, going through your closets, have you found like some really cool outfit, even if it's an old t-shirt from college that just brings it back for you?
I have at least 2,000 of those pieces. I got. I don't throw anything out, Hillary. And actually, that's what I'm doing. I'm working on my online store.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and I'm gonna do a rental company as well because I have beautiful pieces that I've had since the '80s. I don't part with all my good stuff. I'm a Cancer, so I hold on to all of my things. And now searching through my closets and searching through my boxes and my storage unit, I have beautiful pieces. So that'll be down the line. I'll go in detail once the vision is actually in place, but yeah, we'll revisit that. But that's funny that you asked that question because that's exactly part of what I'm doing with my time.
Wow. I'm really glad I asked that because I've seen some of your amazing outfits. And you know what? Hint, hint, hint. We're, I think, the same size, darling.
You're smaller than me, I wish. But yes, there's some cute pieces for you, Hillary. Oh my God. There are a few pieces that I have with your name on it.
Oh my gosh, thank you
And you
so
know, you got,
much.
and I know you love that retro. You love, oh, you like period pieces. So I wish I had a lot of older pieces, but I got some pieces that were in the '90s that they'll never make again.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to urge you to keep, if you love them yourself, you should keep them because you may have a great opportunity to wear them again.
Well, those pieces I'm gonna rent. I'll rent.
Oh, okay.
So let's just say you had some place that you wanted to go and you didn't want to go out and buy an outfit. You can rent
Yeah.
from my closet.
Okay, well, you know, maybe soon we're going to have places to go again. Maybe, and I hope so, because, um, uh-oh, one of the, sorry, there's something just popped up on the screen here. Let me remove it.
Okay.
One of the things that I miss, and I'm going to ask you what you miss the most from a month or so ago. I miss going to the movies and the communal experience of being in a theater and
Mm.
watching a film with an audience or being at a concert. I miss because I like to go out, you know, consider
Yeah,
body, but
you a Miss Socialite, honey. I
I
know
am. I
you.
enjoy being out in, you know, again, especially let's just take movie theaters, the communal experience of seeing a film, people laughing together, maybe
Right,
sometimes crying together, that you
right.
can't get on your couch. So I'm hoping, you know, obviously we've seen changes and is obviously affecting, you know, your latest films and how the studios are adapting to the current situation. And no one really knows what's going to happen. But from your vantage point, I mean, what are your thoughts on, you know, the theatrical experience and where the studios are moving?
Oh, well, I don't know where the studios are moving, unfortunately, but I do know that wherever the studios move, I'll be ready. Wherever they go, whatever direction they go in, because I think it's important that we just continue to create. And I know that while you have this quarantine happening, there are a lot of new things being birthed, a lot of new projects, a lot of ideas that probably were meant to come out a long time ago, but now they have the opportunity to be birthed or rethought of. So yeah, I'm okay with however the situation will be once we get out of this, but I just want to get out of this. I want us to get through this. Whatever happens after that, we just got to be ready for it.
Yeah, and I mean, same thing with TV. We're gonna, you know, I think the networks are filling what will become empty airtime with specials, and some of them are fantastic. You know, there's an upcoming one this Saturday with Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert. But what are your, you know, what are your hopes on, you know, for the TV industry? Because everyone's pretty much furloughed right now.
Well, television, think of how long television has survived. Television has survived or been able to sustain itself since television started. So I don't think television is going anywhere, but the form of television and how television is presented. Now television is on phones. You know, you got people that watch television on their laptops. So that's the new television. So we just got to make sure that we're a part of those projects, that I hope the television companies are able to come up with a format that is conducive to actors' lives, that we can make a good living off of it as well, and that there's room for new content and new stories to be told. You got a lot of people in the entertainment. I'm an entertainment survivor. This is all I've done all my life. Since the age of 3, I've entertained all my life. So this is all I've done. So I will always welcome change, but I always want to make sure that I'm ready for change. So however way that happens, I just want to make sure that I'm a part of it.
Well, I hope we all are. And I want to leave you with something special. I know you've seen one of these before. And see,
Oh, yeah.
This is my timer. I'm baking some bread, so I have to catch it in the
nice.
oven.
Listen, you're multitasking.
We're all
multitasking. I love it.
I know. I was going to ask you about, like, this is also a time for new hobbies or finding things you forgot about, like baking cookies and whatever.
Nice.
But one thing I know, where's the front of this thing? Haven't forgotten about is, I want to toast to you, Tichina, to your family, to your good health, to your peace, well-being, your prosperity, your friendship, and you've always been an inspiration to me. And your comedy is cheering up not only my life, but so many people I know. So keep doing it. Be strong, and I love you.
Thank you, Hillary. That means so much. Look, I got my coffee cup, and I'm going to toast to that. Thank you, Hillary. You as well. Keep journalism alive. Keep telling other people's stories. Keep allowing a platform for people like me to tell their story. I appreciate you so much, and I love you back.
Thank you so much. I will talk to you. See you soon.
You got it, sweetheart. Be good, Hill.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.